What up, gents? It's Label Black again with another video. How are you guys doing, man? I'm doing okay, gents. Taking it one day at a time. As you guys know, I'm a bit cuckoo, I have some mental issues, so I've been battling a bit of that. But we're moving. I'm getting better as time goes. I have to take these meds and all that type of stuff. But you know what, man? The big news is, hey, listen, I cut my hair. If you guys haven't noticed, I cut my hair. I look a bit different now, okay? And I didn't want to cut my hair because I felt like I had so much aura, okay, if you could say it, when I had my long dreads and this and that, and I had the attention. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? One thing we do know, like in the BP or when it comes to looks maxing, is that first of all, volume is important. And having a different hairstyle, having long hairstyle, maybe having braids as a black guy, if you're a white guy, having a fringe over your hair, all that type of stuff, that's very important. So I felt like with my dreads coming down, it also made my hairline a bit longer in a way, so that my hair was up to here. All that works, it makes your face look better, from like an army perspective, okay? So I just felt a bit better. I looked a bit better. I also noticed, like, it differentiated me more from the other black guys, okay? Let me just say that too. It was more like, oh yeah, he's the black guy with the dreads going forward. He's not just a black guy. He's not just a normal guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's why I didn't want to cut him, because I was just like, yo, I'm just a black guy now. I'm just a black guy, dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth of it, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, what's more important is being a black guy with money. That's what's more important. Not being a black guy who looks different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's also important, but most importantly, the money is very important, But obviously the look is important too, but that's what's more important is being a black guy with money. You know what I'm saying? As Hulk Hogan said, he's a racist. A lot of people don't like him in the black community, but he was like, he was caught, on a secret recording. Someone was recording him. He's talking about his daughter's black boyfriend, and he says, if you're gonna get a nigga, let's get a nigga with money. You know what I'm saying? I know that's kind of bad, in a way. A lot of people, like, especially like in the black community, people take such, like, they have this serious mindset and reaction towards, like, racism, which I don't, bro. I'm just like, whatever, dog. I don't care. Like, I know it's always gonna be here. I know most people are basically racist because, like, humans, we're made to be homogenous, okay? We want what's, similar, and we want what's familiar, most importantly. So at the end of the day, in ways, it can come off as racist. And humans, one thing we do have is bias, okay? Now, bias is one of those things where it can literally, bias is in everything, in advertisements, in sport, in politics, in how people look at history. I'm in a lot of, like, right-wing political, like, spheres, okay? So I know Nick Fuentes, I listen to Charlie Kirk, I listen to all of these, like, the Andrew Tates, what's this called, Candace Owens. I listen to all the right-wing, like, commentators, okay? And a lot of the times, like, I understand that most people who are right-wing, because a lot of them are white nationalists, they have this mindset that black people are stupid. And I feel like what's also, like, push this narrative that black people are stupid. And I know that a lot of you guys who are in the BP are right-wingers, and a lot of you guys also believe this, right? But at the same time, some of you guys believe that, okay, cool, not all black people are stupid, but on average, okay? So I feel like what happens is, when you're a white person, when you look at a black person, you're kind of wondering, okay, is this a black person who their IQ is, on the higher end of a black person, or is this like a normal black person, which means I'm smarter? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like books, like, what's that book called? Is it the Curve? What is it called? The Bending Curve. Something about the curve, right? Where basically this, I think there's an anthropologist, right? But he goes into the studies on like IQ among races. And apparently in America, the black Americans, on average, their IQ was 85, and then the white IQ was about 100, okay? And then the Asians were a bit higher than that. And, Asians even don't even commit murders, okay? But that's something I'm going to get into in the next videos. I've told myself I'm not going over 5 minutes because I don't feel like I have enough value to give to you guys that can go over that time limit. So that's just me, gents. Expect more videos from me. I'm coming back. I'm a bit different. You know, this is just a new level black. Peace out. Love you, boys. Cheers.